Welcome to the Walk-Ons. I'm your Spinnaker 2020 Hall of Fame sports editor, Drew McDonald here, with two guests on the show, two staff members, the managing editor of Spinnaker, Zach Yearwood, and the sports editor with the Fired Tom Brady jersey, psych, it's not, John Watson. How you doing today, John?
Doing well. Ready to get this NFL season started, tomorrow, I guess. What about you, Zach? How are you?
I'm great. I don't know how long this season's going to last, so I'm going to enjoy as much of it as I'm going to enjoy every second of it that we do end up getting.
So what are you guys thinking? How long is the season going to last? With the MLB having some problems, but they're still going, and the NFL being a little more hands-on contact sport. What are y'all thinking?
So I think there's going to be issues similar to what we've seen in the MLB, where one team will have like a cluster of cases and they'll have to shut that team down for a week or two. But I really think they're going to try to power through it as much as they can, which even if it ends up being to their detriment. Yeah, the players want to play, the fans want to see it, the teams want their money. It's gonna keep going no matter what. So I think we do end up, unless there's just like some freak incident where like every team ends up contracting it, we're gonna see every single week at least some football.
There was some stat where it was like 17,000 tests and like one positive case, I think, a couple of weeks ago. So my hope is at least Thanksgiving.
Yeah. If there were any team, I'm not gonna say names, but why do you think the Jaguars are gonna get COVID? No, I'm kidding.
Because that's just on brand for them. What
It's on brand, yeah. It's like the Marlins,
They can't disappoint me anymore.
The Jags do not disappoint. Speaking of that, we're all kind of Jags fans here. What about the Jags? Where are you all thinking the record's going to be, how this team's going to do? What are you thinking?
So the team, Dave Caldwell, has shown with his actions that he's tanking this season. Despite what he said, he's traded the team's best players over the last year. But the players and Doug Marrone, Gardner Minshew especially, they're not tanking. They're playing to win. They believe that they're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to really try for that. I see them personally around for a ceiling of 5 wins, and that's hopeful.
John, one of the sponsors for the Jumbo Shrimp is Darley's Plumbing. And just like their business, the Jags will go down the toilet. So I think probably at least a 4-12 kind of year, I think is what Zach said. But I do like Robinson, the running back from, I think, Illinois State. He could be good, I think, for the Jags, the number one guy this week.
Yeah, I think that Gardner Minshew's basically playing to keep his starting job. Not like this season, but next season when Trevor Lawrence comes around. Gardner Minshew puts up 5-6 wins. They're not going to have that draft pick to get covered. So he's playing to be their starter for the next 5-10 years.
I do like the Jags offense. Their offensive line is pretty much the same as it was last year. They have some young rookies in there, and they also have all that receiver talent with DJ Chark, D.D. Westbrook, Laviska, and 18 Chris Conley. But yeah, their defense is just going to be a huge problem this season, not in a good way.
I mean, their key defensive pieces right now, Josh Allen. That's about it.
Yeah, maybe Chison.
Maybe Chison and CJ. Maybe, I don't know.
Joe Schubert with that $50 million contract.
But I think definitely gonna have to put up some big points to win games this season.
The best defense team in the TI Bank field is it what Morgan? Is what it's called? Morgan Law.
Morgan for the people. Not sponsored. But they can sponsor us.
They could be
if they want. Yeah,
it's possible
to mind.
Please. But going in, yeah.
Let's talk about Tampa Bay, since John in here is the resident Bucks fan.
Do we have to?
Well, yes, we have to. Bucks and Falcons fans about to fight it out. You guys are going to see it first. What do you think of this team here, John?
I'm a big fan of the team. I think that, if you stayed with the team in 2000 something when Jameis, he went 9-7, and then he went like 4-12, 4-12. You know, bad seasons. If you stayed with that team and had like a Jameis Winston jersey, you're kind of able to, you know, be a fan right now, and you know, you're not a bandwagon fan. And I think that they're going to have a good season. It's just going to be dependent on if, like Zach was saying before the show, if Tom Brady can sling it deep and make those big connections when it counts. You know, those 5-yard slants that, you know, picks up the passer, whatever you call it, completion percentage, you know, for Brady. Those are going to be a little easier with the receiving core, but the deep pass will be a large factor.
That's also going to mean he's going to end up throwing more interceptions more than likely, though. Because if he's slinging it deep, it's a 43-year-old man. His arm strength is not what it was 10, 15 years ago. So that could – I think the Bucs will do well, better than the Falcons. Sorry to say it, Drew. But, yeah, it all comes down to how much Brady's age holds him back.
Mm-hmm. Now, I have one last thing to say. It could be like a Michael Thomas. And, you know, Chris Godwin, he can kind of run after the catch. Mike Evans can run after the catch. They're not like they don't catch it and they're like they fall to the ground. So I think that would be a big factor in the big plays too.
So when people get old up north, where do they move down to? To Florida, and usually Tampa a lot, right? So we have a 40-year-old version of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
We have Gronkowski, who's, I guess, good now. I don't know where he stands in practice. And Fournette, who's basically like a ex-girlfriend, you know, trying to like, you know, roast his ex-couple or ex-partners. Now that sad sap of people are in Tampa Bay with the Buccaneers. They look good. They look good. But can they play good? Now, you go up north, up 75 to Atlanta with the Falcons. And they added Todd Gurley, homegrown talent. Hayden Hurst, Jacksonville tight end with the Falcons. Julio Jones, the best receiver in the game, right there. You want to see proven facts from a team like the Falcons. If you want a chance the Buccaneers is look good kind of team, no. Into the camera, no. You want to see the Falcons torch the Buccaneers, get their vengeance on Tom Brady for his comeback, whatever it was. I can't remember what that score was. I don't remember what it was. Just the Falcons defeating the Buccaneers, please and thank you.
You know, just like Tom Brady's going to or the Bucs are going to rely on Tom Brady's arm, a lot of the Falcons' success, despite me not believing in the running game being that important in the NFL, it's going to come down to Todd Gurley's knee and how that holds up because he's had issues with that in the past. Plus, the Falcons' defense has been – you got some decent additions with – you lost Campbell in the offseason, but you did pick up Dante Fowler. You also lost Desmond Trufant in the secondary, so that's a huge loss. I don't know who did y'all take to make that up? A.J. Terrell?
Yeah, and we also got rid of Vic Beasley this year too.
That, based on what he did last season, that's not a huge loss.
Yeah, he went downhill so fast. He was like the league leader in sacks one year, then like edge rusher.
Yeah.
You're saying Dante Fowler is making a team better?
Yes.
What?
Better than Vic Beasley was, yeah.
He was a top 5, I think it was sacks guy, I think, last year in the NFL.
He also had Aaron Donald pressuring the line.
I don't like asterisk, you know. I like seeing the full proof, and I'm hoping since Fowler was coached by Dan Quinn, that will help us out. But I'll replace Seahawks week 1, so we'll see.
So I know both your answers to this question, but who's winning the division, the NFC South?
We like to see people in good condition, not banged up old people coming down to Tampa Bay. So once the young, refreshed Falcons take the division.
Dude, you have like 3 players on your defense that are okay. They're decent enough to like start on any team. We have.
I'm gonna say the Saints.
The Saints, the Aints.
Yeah. Jack have one job. Not to
Y'all
piss
both
off
about to turn on me right now. Just about to roast me right here.
We found a troll in our software guys. I think his name is Zach. So I'm just getting out of that.
We just like vote to kick him out of the Zoom call right now.
You're the power team.
But no, I think the Saints can make a decent run. I mean, it's gonna be those rivalry matchups that will be the big ones, and you know they have to play the Saints twice, and they have to play the Falcons twice, and they have to play the Panthers twice, and the Bucs are gonna have a tough year, but it could be fun.
Also, Michael Thomas had the ridiculous man rating. 99. Are you kidding me? Dude runs 5-run slants. Like, give me like 94.
Don't forget that 3-yard out route, bro.
Can't guard Mike. Can't find Mike. I mean, seriously.
I honestly think DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver in the league.
He's up there.
I think it's Julio, without a doubt.
I mean, I'm not a fan, but I mean, I think he could be the best in the league.
Nah. You see, nah.
All right, so fandoms aside, realistically, who's making it out of each conference into the Super Bowl?
You think I remember who's in every conference? I can't remember, like, my
What's
own.
the Super Bowl matchup going to be, John?
Bro. What are we going to start with?
Let's do Jags division, I guess.
AFC
The Jags division, the AFC South. I was just thinking like the Super Bowl matchup, but let's go through. Like, if we can start with the division winners. The AFC South is a tough one because that division is always just a toss up, and with talent like Tennessee, they kept most of their players. They re-signed Tannehill. They brought him back, and then you got the Texans, who have Deshaun Watson, but gave up one of the best receivers in the league for nothing, like for David Johnson and a pick, or they gave up a pick for David Johnson along with Nick Hopkins. But then the real wild card in the AFC South, though, for me, is going to be Indianapolis with Phillip Rivers joining that team. I just have no idea what he's capable of right now because he's had some up and down years in the last 3 years. It's just going to be interesting. What do you guys think about the division?
I definitely think the Titans are going to run away with it this year. You know, they're a little more seasoned after stunning win against Baltimore in the playoffs. But yeah, I think they'll do a lot better than last year. Even then, last year was really good.
You know, you want a father figure on your team, right? Father of like 1 kid, 2 kids, 9 kids, Phillip Rivers, you know. So having him, you know, with a core like Marlon Mack, Jonathan Taylor, hold your laughter, please. And then we have also guys like who else is that team? They have
one of the best offensive lines in football.
Daquan Nelson's a monster, by the way. T.Y. Hilton, that first-round pick too, I think from USC. I think the receiver. I think they could definitely a big kind of like bounce back year in one division, but it's kind of, I think, like a close race between Colts, Texans, Titans. I think.
Yeah, the Jags. I think we've just counted them out of this by now, right?
Yeah.
What if they make a run?
They might, but that would be. The Jags are also really good at keeping games close, and then at that point, it's just however the ball bounces.
Yeah. So we already did NFC South, right? So we're done with the South. Go AFC East. I don't even know.
That's Patriots, Dolphins, Bills, Jets.
I love this division for football this year. I love it.
Tom Brady isn't casting his shadow over the entire division anymore. So it's really wide open for the Bills, Patriots, or Dolphins to take. I really don't think the Jets have much of a chance, to be honest.
Mariah Carey once said, you know, a hero comes along. And that hero was Josh Allen this year from Buffalo Bills. We have this man who's been a sleeping giant in the AFC. Partner him with one of the best defenses in the AFC East. Now the highest paid cornerback in Tre'Davious White, who's a lockdown corner. I'm picking the Bills for the best team in the AFC East this year.
I like that.
Yeah. But
what do you
Jalen Ramsey is actually the highest paid new contract today.
He did get his contract today.
Yeah. But
you know Trey White didn't follow his old team though.
He unfollowed. Yeah, he did unfollow the fans on Instagram. That was funny.
Oh, yeah, it was funny. But I think that the Bills could run away with it unless the Jets find their groove. Le'Veon Bell, he could have a breakout year once again.
John, are you seeing ghosts?
I'm not Sam Darnold. I do not see ghosts. But I mean, the Jets, maybe. But I like the Bills, yeah.
In the East, this is like one of the worst teams the Patriots have had on paper in the last decade. But Cam Newton is going to be the X factor of that team. He makes that team run, and this is really going to be a barometer of how good of a coach. We all know he's probably the best NFL coach ever, but how good of a coach Bill Belichick is at this point.
Yeah, we'll see. Belichick's more defense though, so I don't know if Cam Newton's gonna fit. So we'll see.
If he's healthy.
We got
NFC East. That is, oh boy, Cowboys, Eagles, Washington football team, Giants.
The Washington football team.
One of the most plain logos in America. It's so simple.
It reminds me a lot of from Community, the mascot from the college, the human person. What is it? The human being?
Human being, yeah.
I'm thinking Dan Jones and Saquon Barkley run it up, with the Giants. But that's dependent on the defense, the yellow line. So
I'm gonna sound like a Cowboys homer here. This is their year.
Not again.
To win the division.
No. Not again.
I don't like the Cowboys, but this is their year.
This is their year, boys. We got a bunch of egos on the team. This is our year.
I'll get my pick with a song. Jerry had a CD lamp, CD lamp, CD lamp. Jerry had a CD lamp. They're gonna win the East.
They're gonna choke. They're gonna choke again.
I just don't see how they can lose this division, especially with the Eagles having – the Eagles are, I think, their only real competition, and their defense isn't even that good. They're still lacking in the deep – they got Darius Slay, but they're still fairly lacking in the defensive back department.
Yeah.
They don't have Eli Apple anymore like good old times.
Oh, jeez. What a flop.
Wasn't he good with the Saints last year?
Yeah. He was pretty good. Yeah, only like a top 5 cornerback. It's all good. What do we got next?
Let's go up north. AFC. We got, oh my goodness. That's the Steelers, Ravens, Bengals, Browns.
Yep.
What do you guys think of that one?
Ravens, easy, but Browns can make a run. I don't know.
The Steelers can make a run too. They have a really good defense.
Yeah. They still have Antonio. Oh, wait, no, they don't.
I'm actually 40 miles south of Boynton Beach High School, which is where Lamar Jackson played. So I'm going with him this year. To quote his famous favorite rapper, he's a young prodigy. I think he could definitely make a difference for this Eagles offense again. Get his ring possibly. We'll see.
I think the Ravens – I like the Ravens to win the Super Bowl this year, to be honest with you. I think he's going to follow in Patty's footsteps. And I think they'll face each other in the championship and the Ravens, especially with their beefed-up defensive line this season. They got Derek Wolfe and Calais Campbell in the offseason. They got some really good young linebackers with Patrick Queen, who they just got in the draft. They did let go of one of the best safeties of the last decade in Earl Thomas, but it seems, based on what happened with that he was just a distraction in the locker room, just fighting teammates. But that both sides of the ball, they're really good on. They still have 3 really good corners. I think 4 really good corners. I think the Ravens are going to run away with this division.
They could be like the Dodgers and just choke it in the playoffs every year, but
that's true.
We'll see if that happens
That's a joke with Lamar that he can't perform in the playoffs, but he's only been to the playoffs twice.
Yeah.
And one of them, Harbaugh didn't even let him throw until the fourth quarter when they lost to the Chargers.
They almost beat the Chargers in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Literally. It was so close. Because I'm a big Chargers fan, so I was watching that game, and I'm like, is Lamar Jackson going to, bring them back to life somehow? No.
The Jags passed on him. Okay. NFC North. That is Packers, Vikings, Lions, Bears.
Yep.
Oh my.
My least favorite division.
What do you guys think?
The monsters of the Midway. Mitchell Trubisky is going to go out week 5. Going to be replaced by Nick Foles, and then they're going to win the division.
That's a hot take if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
I think that
But it's okay because I got the Lions to win.
the Lions.
What? Matt Stafford's going to show up? That's improbable.
I think the
What do you think, Drew?
Captain Kirk Cousins will take this enterprise with the Vikings all the way to first place this year, I believe. With him, a healthy Dalvin, some Adam Thielen. I'll hold my puns for a later podcast about Adam Thielen. I have some good ones, but not appropriate for this one.
I got you.
We have Harrison Smith, I think, still on that team. Anthony Barr. Really good team, both sides of the ball. But
They
Packers.
just got Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah, that's pretty good. If you pay him enough, we'll play for you. The Packers, I think there's definitely some Love loss, some Jordan Love loss, so I think they're there yet, in this division.
He's on deck with the puns.
So why do you think the Lions are going to win, Zach? Like, is there any reason?
They're extremely undervalued, in my opinion. They have a running back. They're going running back by committee, which has proven to be successful. Matthew Stafford, if he stays healthy, he proved last season that he could be an X factor. They have Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones still, who both produced really well. Not one of the better offensive line. Actually, Taylor Decker has been really good, but other than that, the offensive line's been middle of the pack. Their defense is where Matt Patricia the coach really shines because, he's the one that put all those Patriots defenses together. And he does have a surprising amount of ex-Patriots on his team. Trey Flowers, Jamie Collins. Yeah.
Blunt, is he still on the team, LeGarrette Blunt?
Who is LeGarrette Blunt? I'm not 100% sure about that. But even then, they still have DeAndre Swift, Kerryon Johnson. They just picked up Adrian Peterson. Like, their running game I'm sure is going to be solid. And then on top of that, they added Desmond Trufant to their secondary. I just really think that people are down on the Lions, but if they can stay healthy, which they haven't been able to do in the past, they can make some noise in the North.
Nice. And we got the last two divisions. Oh, wait. Yeah, I think so. Right?
AFC West Chiefs. Does anybody have any objections to that?
I'm a Chargers fan, even though I don't.
No, but I will say that it's probably the division with the best rookie receivers, though, with Ruggs and Judy.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch them this year.
Yeah. I actually really like the Broncos to finish second in that division if Drew Lock can keep up what he did at the end of last season, especially now that he has added Judy. They did lose Von Miller yesterday, which is very sad to hear. A tendon in his ankle kind of popped. It didn't sound very fun. So yeah, but the Broncos they're going to be a fun team to watch offensively, if nothing else.
Me and my boy Tyrod Taylor, we're going to have some fun, with the Chargers. Week 4, it's going to be, hey, adios, Tyrod. And then homeboy, what's-his-face is going to come in.
Are you excited for the Justin Herbert revolution, or would you rather have Tyrod?
I think Justin Herbert, another great white quarterback out of, for the Chargers. Because the Chargers really, they love their old traditional white quarterbacks. But
this dude can run, though. Don't underestimate his running.
Yeah, but he's just, I don't know. I like him. I like the Chargers, but we do have a bunch of talent, but a bunch of talent that's hurt, too.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have Melvin Gordon anymore because we gave him to a division rival, so thanks.
I mean, I wouldn't have paid him the money he wanted personally.
True. Yeah. He hasn't had the seasons that he had that first season.
All right, NFC West.
Wait.
What's
I
that?
have one last thing to say about this division. Clyde Edwards. I don't know how to say that last one. I'm just going to say Blair. Bro, we got to talk about him.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Offensive Rookie of the Year? 100%. Like, I think this is the most expectations I've ever seen out of a first-round running back ever.
When's the last time they gave that award to a running back? Does anybody know?
Definitely haven't given it to Drew Brees.
Todd Gurley?
Wait, or Zeke.
It might have been Zeke.
But it's just crazy because, haven't seen this guy play a single snap. And they're projecting him to be, top 5 running back in fantasy football.
Well, there's a reason for that. When you're part of the best offense ever, that kind of helps.
That's true. But nobody wants. Yeah.
It's called champagne problem.
Yeah. Nobody wants the Bengals to win the AFC whatever.
Correct. Yes.
There have actually been quite a few running backs winning offensive rookies. Saquon, Kamara, Todd Gurley, Eddie Lacy in 2013.
Eddie Lacy. Man, I got like 50
Beast
pounds.
mode.
But yeah, so last up is the whatever you call it, West. NFC West. Rams,
Rams, Cardinals, 49ers, and I always forget one team in the division. Seahawks, right.
Damn, this is a tough
one. The 49ers are bringing back possibly the best team on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Their biggest losses were DeForest Buckner and Emmanuel Sanders. That's their biggest hole right now is wide receiver. If Deebo Samuel, especially if he's out. But yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to win it though.
Yeah, I think Seahawks are got it locked down. They just really got so much in the offseason, and Russell Wilson is going to be a very.
I was going to say that wouldn't end well for the Seahawks if Russell Westbrook's out there.
If Russell Westbrook was the quarterback for the Seahawks, it would not go well. Not at all. But I think, yeah, with Russell Wilson being a dependable quarterback and some new additions to the team, I think it'll be fine.
I'm Seahawks.
That team. Sorry, Drew. I'll let you finish.
Okay. I go to Seahawks. I think the most high-powered offense, though, they should probably be the Cardinals with Kyler, Kirk, Hopkins, Johnson, Fitz. Enter more names here.
The Seahawks have frustrated me for the last 2 to 3 years because Pete Carroll is living and dying by the running game when he has a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. And it's just mind-boggling. And plus, he has one of the better receiving corps now with Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and Josh Gordon if he can stay off the weed.
And Golden Tate, too.
And do they have Golden Tate?
I think so.
He's on the Giant. He's on the Giant.
Oh. Okay. Got false info here, folks.
If Josh Gordon can get back, I have him on my fantasy team right now. Might be suspended, but it's sometime during the season. He'll be okay.
The Seahawks, they've just never invested in an offensive line for Russell Wilson, and he still manages to succeed.
Mm-hmm. He's a good scrambler.
Mm-hmm. Natalie Jokel.
Yikes.
So, who do you think is the Super Bowl champ? Last thing on the show today.
Baltimore. For the reasons I said before. Great quarterback. Great offense. It's going to be interesting to see how they make up for losing Marshall Yanda. But secondary set. Their pass rush is going to be even better than it was last year. I just don't see – I see the fewest holes with that team.
I'm going to have to go like Leonard Fournette said, in a few – yesterday or the day before. I like how I'm coming to a team where the opposing team is planning for 7 guys instead of just 1. So I'm going to have to go Bucks all the way, baby. It's a Bucks life.
I'm going to take
Run DMC.
I'm going to take that pile of bologna and toss it to the side. I'm going to take Baltimore Ravens win the bowl against the Dallas Cowgirls. I'm calling it right now.
Really?
Oh, boy. What? No.
Yes.
Hold up. So who's your AFC opponent for you, John? Who's making it out of the AFC to face the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl?
Easily the Chiefs.
The Chiefs?
Easily.
No, the NFC. The NFC.
Oh,
wait, no, never mind. No, never mind. You're right. I was thinking.
Yeah.
My pick. So you have Chiefs, Bucks. Drew has Baltimore versus Dallas.
Also, how does the Hooters dumpster Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense get all the way to Super Bowl? They are trash against Mahomes.
Whoa.
They don't have
no
corners.
sense.
All they have is Shaq Barrett and I don't know anyone else on that team.
Ndamukong Suh. You got Devin White. What's his face? 45 or 54.
Yeah, they got
Shaq Barrett.
LSU.
David, you got
White?
Devin White, yeah.
Do they have Devin White or Devin Bush? I always
White.
Devin White.
Bush is with the Steelers then.
And then you got some young cornerbacks who are destined to be okay this season.
How do you feel about Josh Rosen being the heir to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' fortune?
I was talking about this with my friend yesterday, and I was like, what if Josh Rosen, after 2 years of being on the Bucks, becomes the Bucks starter for like the next 6 seasons? That'd be crazy.
Like, do you think that year or two behind Tom Brady is going to propel him into making the 9 mistakes before him that were drafted ahead of him?
Jimmy G, what's his name? Jacoby Brissett.
Yes, sir.
There's so many good,
Is he a Falcon now?
No, he's a Cole Bill from high school.
Oh.
There's so many good quarterbacks that have come, succeeded Tom Brady and gone on to different teams. So we'll see how this one does. Not Jared. Sorry.
I think for me it's gonna be Ravens Seahawks. I really don't. I'm not a fan of any of these teams in the NFC coming out. And maybe the Saints, but there's just nothing on that side that impresses me. The AFC has it no matter who makes it for me.
The Bucks won't lose in the playoffs, boys. We know that. Tom Brady's got it in his nature to never lose in the playoffs. Except
last year kind of had proved something, John.
I don't know. What about when they lost to the Eagles and he couldn't even catch a touchdown or a first down pass?
Oh, that was funny. Yeah. He said, all right, we got to end this meeting here.
All right, boys.
All right.
It's been
Thanks
fun.
for coming on the Walk-On, Zach, and, for myself, Mr. McDonald, Zach Yearwood. Have a good one.
Let's get it.